On June 29th, 2014, Feliks Zemdegs got the most influential Rubik's Cube world record, which you have probably never heard about. At least the WCA doesn't seem to remember this one. Oh, right, yes, that's because this happened. Yup, Feliks got a corner twist. He was robbed. Corner twist can happen on all speed cubes. That is this. It's when a single corner twists on its own, which is not supposed to be possible and can put the cube into a state that is not solvable with normal moves. And this problem has definitely confused a lot of beginner solvers. The reason is, for a cube to turn very fast, it needs to have some level of looseness, and that gives the corner piece a lot of room to wiggle around. You may find that some cubes cannot corner twist, but this will typically be Rubik's brands or just some older brands that are really, really tight, and that definitely comes at some performance disadvantages. So because speed cubes are loose, corner twists are something that can happen, but they usually shouldn't because you need a lot of force in a direction that you normally don't apply force. In 2014, Feliks Zemdegs was in the middle of his absolute domination of speed cubing. While he didn't always hold the world record single solve, that category is a bit more luck based because you do need a very lucky scramble to do it. Feliks did, however, hold the world record average of 5, which cubers say is more representative of how skilled a cuber is. Feliks held the record all the way from 2010 up to 2021, except for a 2-month break in 2017, where honestly, Max Park's record was exactly what Feliks needed to push him to perform at a level that was way long overdue. But 11 years with a 2-month break. What were you like 11 years ago? Can you imagine if you were the best cuber back then and you never lost that title except for a 2-month break all the way until now? I would be shocked if we ever see a cuber as dominant as Feliks was. So Feliks is the greatest of all time, we've all heard that one before, but everyone makes mistakes, right? Feliks must have just messed up. Why should anyone say he is deserving of this world record if he can't turn accurately enough to avoid a corner twist? Well, here, let's take a look at how this corner twist even happened. This is the final moment before the corner twist. We don't have a lot of frames to work with here, but you can clearly see where his hands are located and which piece got the corner twist. Yeah, what? I will be patiently waiting for somebody to explain to me how a corner twist like that even happens. He was not touching the piece, and the piece was not pushed against anything. Now, you'll notice in the video that the cube was slightly misaligned, but the way that it was misaligned, if you look at it from the back, was like this, and a little bit over here as well. Okay, so if you bring it back to the front and look at the move he was doing, this is the corner that twisted. So what was it hitting? Like, that's just a normal corner cut. Because if it was the other way, then I get it. It's hitting the centerpiece, and maybe it twisted on the centerpiece, but it was actually being given a lot of room to do that turn. So I don't understand how a corner twist can even happen there. Basically, an act of God determined that Feliks did not get to have a world record today. And the current world record holder, Mats Falk, breathes the biggest sigh of relief you can possibly imagine. But that's not the full story. At that time, back in 2014, something like this happening was not all that unexpected. This is a Moyu Along version 1. This is the model of speed cube that Feliks was using in his solve. This cube corner twists extremely easily. As I'm doing this motion to corner twist, it feels exactly the same way all the way through. It doesn't feel like there's ever much resistance. It's just extremely easy. So to give you an example of how easy it is to corner twist on this thing, way back in the day, there was this famous execution of a G-prim algorithm done by Drew Brads. It was really fast, but the finger trick was crazy. And I love to use this algorithm to show why we don't like this cube anymore. The reason why this cube and other cubes at the time corner twisted so easily was because of the rounded corners right here. So why were these corners rounded in the first place? Well, that's because they had to do something called reverse corner cutting. If your cube is slightly misaligned but you would like to turn anyway, then this is called corner cutting. It's a feature of all modern cubes, and even 45 degrees was possible on these very old cubes. And if we look at my Rubik's brand cube, it is not possible. Now, if you set the cube in the other direction, then this is called reverse corner cutting. And it doesn't look so obvious why this is called reverse, like what is the difference? But the reason you can very obviously see on an old cube, which has squared corners, and it just doesn't make sense when you pull down here why the cube would possibly move. Obviously, this corner is hitting this center, so there's no way this can move. But with rounded corners, it looks very obvious why this is possible. I mean, the pieces just slide right past each other. You can even go to a very large extent. Shortly after the solve, or failed solve, Moyu released the Moyu Along version 2, which was advertised to have fixed this problem. And because of how popular Feliks's video started to become, the Moyu Along version 2 sold like crazy. It was insanely popular. But corner twists still happened. It wasn't until the next generation of speed cubes that the corner twisting problem really started going away, when squared corners started to become the standard design. I remember I had just come back into cubing around this time in 2016, and thinking to myself that the new design looked really weird. Like, wouldn't this make it harder to corner cut? As it turns out, no. When you have squared corners, then when you try to corner twist, look at how much every other piece has to move out of the way in order for this to be possible. And so this is definitely not going to happen that much in a solve. If we look at the Along version 1, the pieces don't really have to move that far out of the way. I mean, it's a pretty big difference. But how can we have squared corners? Because doesn't that mean we can no longer reverse corner cut? No, it's actually fine. In fact, it's a lot better than before. Here, take a close look at what happens when I reverse corner cut. When I do a corner cut, the corner just slides over the centerpiece. This is because corner cuts happen when the cube is turned, and so obviously the corner piece protrudes out a little bit more, so the outermost part of the corner surface is going to go over the centerpiece instead of run into the centerpiece. And you can see this in the corner piece design. The inside is still very small and rounded in order to do these reverse corner cuts, but the outside is made to be pointy because that's all you need in order to avoid corner twists. If you compare this to the old pieces, you can see how they both have a section where it's very rounded. It's just the old piece is missing the part that sticks out on top. So the squared corner design makes it a lot harder for the cube to corner twist, but still keeps it just as easy to reverse corner cut as if this pointy section was not even there. Nowadays, squared corners are just part of SpeedCube design and we don't think twice about it. Use the discount code JPerm. In fact, seeing these giant holes actually makes me nervous as I get flashbacks to my old solves. And you might be thinking to yourself, hey, if corner twisting was already such a big problem, did it really matter that Feliks lost his record to a corner twist? Wasn't this problem going to get solved anyway? Yeah, maybe. But ever since the first actually good speed cube, the Dian Guhong, corner twisting had just been a run-of-the-mill, very normal part of speed cubing. Don't want a corner twist? Turn slower, turn more accurately. That's just the risk you take when you can't control your turning. I mean, that was what everyone said. But this video, especially when slowed down, showed the world that this was simply unacceptable. Corner twisting is luck-based, and the speedcubing community did what the speedcubing community does best. We demanded new cubes. If it's any consolation, Feliks won the competition with a 9.40 average, barely edging out Jaden McNeil's 9.44. Being a cuber back then was different. Feliks Zemdegs would not get to hold the world record single for another 2.5 years, seemingly waiting for Mats Valk to get the record again, just so Feliks could finally take the record the way he was meant to, but this time in the most legendary moment of cubing history. And then he lost that competition. But that's a story for another time.